So the traffic we've been having for the past few months is no joke, and as we've said before, this constant congestion isn't going anywhere anytime soon. Probably neither are you. But what does this mean for workers getting in on time when no matter how early they leave out, they end up stuck in traffic? Talk at the table is live where you work where you live. And we're exploring it with the Chief Executive Officer of the Jamaica Employees Federation, Brenda Cuthbert, and founder of Above or Beyond, Hakim Semaj. Good morning to you both.
Morning.
Welcome
Morning.
to Smile Jamaica. Madam, this wouldn't hold true just because of traffic, though, would it?
No, it wouldn't, but I think it's really topical, and I think the whole matter of the traffic in the last couple of months certainly leads us to be contemplating what else can we do, how can we deal with this. Employees are stuck in traffic, and by the way, so are the employers.
Yeah.
So we need to have a conversation, we need to have some amount of decision, some amount of planning as to where we go forward with this.
Dr. Semaj, I was, because you know me always a kind of joke, but in a joke, serious way, I was saying, because I lived in another community, I think you know that, and I was saying that every time we build in a community, we should have a supermarket, a hospital, a high school, a primary school. So you don't need to live in Portmore.
You absolutely
you have to work in St. Thomas.
You
so
should.
This again brings to light that something like
both
this should
ends of the
happen.
conversations need to be had.
Yeah.
And if you look at the drift from the rural parts, because as you finish school, remember when you finish school, you have to go to town and go look at a job. All right? So the notion that we need to create employment where the people are, because even though the globe is moving towards cities, so there's no question about that, right? But you can't, 80% of your country, you're going to leave it unpopulated. What is happening now as an extension of gentrification in the US, you know, when some cities ran down in the inner piece and so on, as they redevelop the cities, the architects now came with multi-purpose facilities. So the ground floor is commercial space.
Yeah.
The next 2 floors, offices, and the top 5 floors, residential. You know, so that we can do the same thing downtown Kingston with all those buildings locked up now. As you redevelop, you use that kind of model whereby you can live, you can shop, you can work within this, because we already have the infrastructure.
Yeah. There's a model also, Brenda. They do it in Canada for sure. Right? They may do it all over the world, where you work at a company, but you work from home. So you may be checking once a week or once a month, but you hand in whatever it is that you have to on deadlines. You're still evaluated. Why aren't we doing more of this?
That is a global situation now. Lots of persons are choosing to do that. A lot of employers are looking at that, because at the end of the day, what the employers really want is to get the business done, to make sure the work is in and so on. We're talking about some shifts in culture. We're talking about some decisions that have to be made and a buy-in by the employers themselves and the employees. It's not happening. We're having cases of that, but it's not in the face there. You still have the go to work, clock in, work, leave work. But we got to get more creative.
The two downsides, there are a lot of people who don't have the discipline to work from home. They could easily, but then you must do a kind of work that is quantifiable. It's obvious if you don't do it.
Yes.
But also, many employers haven't evolved to the point to know that the work can be done. They must see you sitting at your desk. If they don't see you at your desk, I mean, then the work is not taking place. But we now have the telecommunications capabilities that there are many Jamaicans who live here and work abroad, you know.
Yes.
Okay.
Because once they get to their desk, once they turn on that modem, they're at work. So we have no choice but
because you have to deal with timelines. So I could stay at home and you say, all right, Bridget, you have a project, I need it by Wednesday. You don't care whether I work all day Tuesday or Tuesday night, as long as you get it by Wednesday.
Let me give you a little background. In 1992 or 93 thereabouts, I did a radio show on radio waves at the time. I broadcast from my house in Kingston 4 nights a week. Wouldn't tell the public that's what we were doing. And on Friday, I would drive down to Montego Bay, walk through the town so somebody can see me. And on the air we talk about them people at Kingston, man, them people, you know. But
While you're in Kingston.
I did the show from my house. You know, and just 1 day a week did the show from Montego Bay. And this was 92.
Yeah.
Technology is way past that now. A radio show is the easiest thing.
Yeah.
Anywhere.
You broadcast them wherever
Because
you
they're
are.
not seeing you.
Exactly.
Right,
Yes.
right. But again, it wouldn't obtain with all the different
No,
vocation?
it's sort of industry specific. Manufacturing still needs to have the manufacturing staff there, but in the service industry, in the business of even education, things online and so on, those are things that can.
Delia brought it up last Thursday. I don't know if it's when we were just having a chat about this flexi hours thing that we've been talking about.
Way overdue.
For 40 million a year.
Way overdue.
Especially now with the whole heap of road construction going on.
And this is where now the whole conversation about flexi work arrangement has come to the fore.
But what would be stopping this from happening?
Unions have had some positions on it. How you count 40 hours, what you do with Saturday and Sunday. Once you go flexi, there's no Saturday and there's no Sunday. There's 7 days. There's no
and you just
overtime
work,
starts after 40,
right?
Wherever.
Yes.
I tested the model at my own company where we had there's so many incredible models you can use where people work a 10-hour day, 4 days a week, because it actually takes you 2 hours to get to work in that. But if you get into work at 6 o'clock, it takes you half hour.
Do the work while you're there.
So that model is not, we have not really accepted it because of the issue about when does 40 hours finish, what happened to Saturday and Sunday. With that model, you know, you work in 2 teams as such, and you can actually work one set, and then you give somebody else your shift. And so if you want to be off for a whole week,
co-working.
your co-worker incredible things. I met a Jamaican in Barbados. He said, but Doc, you redundant me from all party, you know. No, I didn't redundant you, boss. I just facilitated the process. Where they now? Him working off the coast of Africa.
Wow.
No, he lives in Clarendon still. He works 12 days and then he comes home. It is cheaper to just come because there's no place to live out on place there, right? And he comes home and then it takes him 2 days to get to work. But by the way, there are 10 Jamaicans working down here now. Okay, when one Jamaican get in, them line up them brethren and so on.
I remember in Toronto, I don't know if it still obtains, but the firefighters would work 4 days on and 4 days off. So they would stay there for 4 days. Them go to work, them don't go home for 4 days. And then they get 4 free days.
Off. But you're right, in this traffic, people get to work at 7 a.m. and have to sit down and wait until 8:30 to start working.
Exactly.
So that's an hour and a half gone that you could have been productive.
No, I think Brenda and company need to push the flexi issue more because all we need to do, you know, to make sure during the peak hours, you have your full staff there. So some staff will come in from 6. Some will come in as late as 10. But you see that time 10 to 2. Everybody is.
And there are most jobs could accommodate that.
There are jobs that can accommodate it. It doesn't have to be every single one. There are some that will need a different model, as you're saying, but it's something to be considered, certainly.
Because like we have to be here, whether we like it or not.
Right, but then you would have completed your shift, your time, and then you can go off and you would have done your 40 hours or whatever.
Fantastic. Good to see you both. Thanks for coming. Chief Executive Officer of the Jamaica Employers Federation, Brenda Cuthbert, and founder of Above or Beyond, Dr. Liakim Semash.
We're going to talk about Jamaica under construction after this.
Interesting segue. Soon come.